Welcome back to Coins Numismatic series. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and sometimes misunderstood coins in modern American history, the 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony $1 coin. At first glance, it might seem like just another dollar coin, but there's a surprising amount of history, symbolism, controversy, and collector intrigue surrounding this piece. So, sit back, grab your magnifier, and let's get started. Let's start with the basics. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was introduced in 1979 as the first U.S. coin to feature a real, historical woman. Before this, Lady Liberty, a symbolic figure, appeared on coins for more than a century. But in 1979, the U.S. Mint decided to honor Susan B. Anthony, the famed social reformer and women's rights activist who played a central role in the women's suffrage movement. It was a bold decision, one meant to recognize not only her legacy but also to usher in a new era for American coinage. The D. Mint mark on the 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint produced over 288 million of these coins in 1979, making it one of the most common issues of the series. However, that doesn't mean every coin is identical in quality or collector value. In fine condition, these coins retain much of their original detail but show moderate wear from circulation. The high points, like Susan B. Anthony's cheekbones, hairline, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse, might appear smooth or lightly worn, but the overall design remains distinct and attractive. When the coin was released, the U.S. Mint hoped it would replace the paper $1 bill entirely. The reasoning was practical: coins last much longer in circulation than paper money, potentially saving the government millions of dollars in production costs. However, the rollout didn't go as planned. People often confused the Susan B. Anthony dollar with the quarter, since both were similar in size, color, and metallic composition. The confusion led to frustration among the public, and the coin quickly became unpopular for everyday transactions. Many banks even stopped ordering them, and by 1981, production for general circulation was halted. Despite its lukewarm public reception, the 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar has since become a staple for collectors. It marks an important moment in U.S. history, the first time a woman other than a symbolic figure was honored on a circulating coin. It also serves as a symbol of how design, practicality, and public opinion can clash in unexpected ways. Now, let's talk design, and this is where the Susan B. Anthony dollar truly stands out. The obverse, designed by chief engraver Frank Gasparo, features a right-facing portrait of Susan B. Anthony. Around the border, the word Liberty is boldly displayed, and to the left, the date, 1979, sits below Anthony's profile. 13 small 5-pointed stars encircle the coin, symbolizing the original 13 colonies. Above Susan B. Anthony's head reads the national motto, "In God We Trust." The design is clean, strong, and unapologetically American, much like the woman it honors. The reverse is also striking. Instead of a new design, the Mint reused the Apollo 11 mission insignia from the Eisenhower dollar, a tribute to American achievement in space. It features an eagle landing on the moon, clutching an olive branch in its talons. Behind the eagle, the Earth is visible in the distance. The words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum surround the design, with the denomination $1 inscribed below. This connection between Susan B. Anthony and the space program, between women's progress and humanity's leap into the stars, makes the coin feel even more symbolic in hindsight. A fine-condition 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar shows honest circulation wear. You might notice that the luster, the coin's natural mint shine, has faded. The edges may be a bit dull, and contact marks from circulation could be present. Still, the key details of the portrait and reverse remain legible and pleasing. Collectors often appreciate fine-condition coins for their balance between history and affordability. While uncirculated or proof versions may command higher prices, fine-condition coins tell the story of real-world use, coins that pass through the hands of Americans in grocery stores, vending machines, and banks during a unique chapter of U.S. currency history. As of today, most 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollars in fine condition aren't particularly rare. Their value typically hovers close to their face value, about $1 to perhaps a few dollars if the coin has exceptional eye appeal or minimal contact marks. But their real worth lies in their story. The coin represents a milestone for women in American history, a bold experiment in modernizing coinage, and a lesson in how the public interacts with money. For numismatists, details matter, and there are some fascinating varieties to look out for when it comes to the 1979 D issue. While the wide rim variety that collectors chase primarily appears on Philadelphia minted coins, those with a P mint mark, the Denver mint issues are generally standard. However, minor die variations, strike quality differences, and surface conditions can affect a coin's desirability. Denver mint coins are often better struck than those from Philadelphia, showing sharper details on Susan B. Anthony's hair and the eagle's feathers. So, if you find a 1979 D with crisp detail and strong definition, it could be a particularly nice example for your collection. Let's take a moment to talk about Susan B. Anthony herself, because understanding her life gives even greater meaning to this coin. Born in 1820 in Adams, Massachusetts, Susan B. Anthony dedicated her life to social reform, particularly women's suffrage. She co-founded the National Woman Suffrage Association with Elizabeth Cady Stanton and spent decades advocating for women's right to vote. Although she did not live to see the ratification of the 19th Amendment in 1920, which granted women the right to vote, her relentless efforts laid the groundwork for that historic achievement. When the U.S. Mint chose her likeness for the new dollar, it was both a tribute and a statement, honoring not just one woman, but generations of women who fought for equality. In fine condition, a 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar embodies a certain charm. The coin has seen life. Maybe it's been handed from cashier to customer thousands of times, carried in pockets, dropped in change jars, or even tucked away as a keepsake. Every mark and scratch is a small record of history. Collectors who appreciate circulated coins often feel a deeper connection to them because they've actually done their job, they've circulated, served, and survived. While it's true that the Susan B. Anthony series was short-lived, with regular issues from 1979 to 1981 and then one final year of minting in 1999, the 1979 D stands as a representative of that initial launch. It's the beginning of the series and a reminder of the mint's attempt to modernize U.S. currency. Ironically, the coin's failure to catch on paved the way for later dollar coins like the Sacagawea dollar, introduced in 2000, and the presidential dollar series that followed. Each of those designs learned from the lessons of the Susan B. Anthony coin, especially the need for a distinct color and size that would prevent confusion with quarters. Even though it didn't succeed as a circulating dollar, the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar succeeded in something arguably more lasting. It started conversations. It sparked debates about representation, design, and public perception. And today, it remains an essential coin for anyone studying or collecting 20th-century American currency. So, if you have a 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar in fine condition, take a closer look at it. Study the portrait, admire the detail, and think about its story. It's not just a coin, it's a symbol of progress, of change, and of the ongoing journey toward equality. And even though it might only be worth a few dollars to collectors, its historical significance is priceless. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony $1 coin. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Coins Numismatic series for more fascinating stories from the world of coins, where every piece of metal tells a piece of history.